we're seeing, we had a big interview here yesterday on Sky News with the female chair of the charity in South Africa that he founded in memory of his mother. And what happened there?
Well, it was a huge interview, wasn't it, Kinsey, where the charity boss was revealing that she was asked to defend Meghan Markle over that charity polo match and that really awkward photo call. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, and basically what she says is that's where she believes the rift began, when she said, I'm not an extension of the Sussex PR machine. I have no issue with Meghan, but I refuse to defend her publicly because we don't want to be associated with the toxic brand. She says, analytically, you can look at the numbers of donations that have come in post Prince Harry stepping down and leaving the royal family, and the donations have declined immensely. But when she talks about Prince Harry bullying her, it's interesting to me because he is being accused of doing exactly what he accused of the royal family doing, weaponizing the media against his enemy, which in this case is Dr. Sophie.
I wonder what's going to happen with this charity. I wonder, it can't be the end of the charity, surely. I mean, she hasn't resigned. The board has resigned. I wonder what's going to be next.
Well, look, she told Trevor Phillips that she has receipts to back up her accusations and will not be pushed around. So you're absolutely right that this charity is going to go on and continue to thrive. But she did accuse Prince Harry of grandstanding and claimed he wanted to destroy the charity to later return as its savior. But talking about, the last 5 years, this isn't Harry's only issue with the charity in the last 5 years. African Parks charity is still under investigation for issues that have happened there. Prince Harry heavily involved in that charity, whether it be, assault on women or death. There was one woman that was basically trampled. They trampled her baby to death. So it's just a lot that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have to deal with PR-wise coming up in the next few weeks. And I know that Meghan would prefer to focus on, as ever, versus some of the chaos surrounding their charities.
Welcome back, my beloved brothers and sisters of the Royal Sussex Squad. I want to thank you for being here today, for choosing truth over tabloid noise, integrity over propaganda, and love over hate. Because what we're talking about today is more than just a news headline. It's more than a report or a media cycle. It's a reflection of the broader, broken culture that keeps trying to vilify people who walk in honesty, compassion and service. Today we talk about Prince Harry, yes, our Duke of Sussex, a man who once again has been forced into the crossfire of lies and blame, only to be cleared completely after being dragged through unnecessary scrutiny and public betrayal. And for what? For doing the work, for building something meaningful, for founding and growing a charity that for nearly 2 decades has served tens of thousands of vulnerable children in southern Africa. You see, when you look at the story behind Sentebale, the real story, you begin to understand the depth of Prince Harry's commitment. This is not a man who slapped his name on a foundation and walked away for a photo op. This is a man who co-founded Sentebale with Prince Seeiso back in 2006. During a time when Harry was still coming into his own, navigating grief, expectation and public pressure. Lesotho touched him deeply. He saw children orphaned by HIV/AIDS facing stigma, lack of education and neglect from systems that should have been there to protect them. Instead of feeling sorry and moving on, Harry did what true leaders do. He acted. Sentebale was created as a promise to those children that they would not be forgotten, that their lives had value, that even in their pain they were still worthy of love and protection. That promise has held strong for 19 years. So imagine the audacity, the cruelty of turning around almost 2 decades later and trying to frame him, the man who helped create this miracle, as a source of damage. Imagine the betrayal in hearing that after he stepped away from the organization, people inside were trying to paint him as a problem. After all he gave, all the energy and emotional labor, all the hope he poured into that cause. Now, of course, the truth eventually came to light, because the facts always do. The UK Charity Commission, a completely independent regulatory body, looked into what had become a public dispute within Sentebale. This wasn't sparked by Harry. No, this wasn't about him causing problems. This was about governance issues, about people in leadership roles failing to manage internal tensions, allowing drama to leak into the public sphere and turning a mission into a mess. And when the Commission completed their investigation, what did they find? That's right. They found no evidence of wrongdoing on the part of Prince Harry. None. Zero. Let that sink in. Despite the whispers, the interviews, the carefully worded accusations by the current chair of the organisation, Dr. Sophie Chandauka, despite all of that smoke, there was no fire. Prince Harry was cleared. The report said there was no bullying, no harassment, no misogyny, no misogynoir. There was no power grab, no overreach, and certainly no mismanagement on his part. But still, even with this full exoneration, the press and Harry's critics remain disturbingly quiet. Where are the retractions? Where are the front pages screaming Prince Harry vindicated? Where is the same energy they had when they falsely suggested he was part of some scandal? They won't give him the credit because they never really cared about truth to begin with. They cared about feeding a narrative. A narrative that says Harry walked away from the monarchy because he was reckless or ungrateful. A narrative that paints Meghan as manipulative, Harry as weak, and both of them as somehow toxic to the establishment. But let me tell you something. They didn't walk away because they were failures. They walked away because they were too good for the toxicity of that institution. They were too authentic, too loving, too committed to living on their own terms. And for people who need to control the narrative, authenticity is a threat. This entire ordeal around Sentebale reveals that exact sickness. Rather than protect the charity's mission, some individuals chose to make it about ego. Rather than solve issues behind closed doors with dignity, they chose the microphone. The Commission even criticised how certain people, yes, including Chandauka, took the conflict to the media in ways that harmed the very children they were supposed to serve. That wasn't Harry. That was on them. And yet, when the report came out, it was Prince Harry who showed grace. His response was firm but elegant. He didn't attack, he didn't belittle. He reminded everyone that the ones who would truly pay the price for this drama were not the board members or the press, but the children of Lesotho and Botswana, the very children who have always been at the heart of his work. Because that's what this is really about, the children. The ones facing stigma, poverty, illness, the ones who look to these programs for a sense of belonging and hope. Harry never forgot them. Even after stepping away from his royal duties, even after being targeted over and over again, he stayed committed to them. And now, with Sentebale no longer a place where he can fulfill that mission, he's focusing on finding new ways to continue that work. And let's give credit where it's due, because through all of this, Meghan has stood by his side. She has seen the character assassination. She has lived through the media abuse. She has watched him get dragged for simply trying to live a life of service. And still, she rises. Still, she supports him. Still, she uplifts and works for causes that matter. She's been through it all and remains unbroken. The Sussexes are not perfect, but they are principled. And the world needs more of that. Especially when you see how quickly people are willing to tear down what they don't understand or can't control. This situation with Sentebale is a case study in modern character assassination. It shows us how easily people in power can twist narratives, how quickly they will discard a person's legacy when it no longer serves their agenda, and how slow the media is to correct falsehoods. Especially when those falsehoods are about people like Harry and Meghan, who dare to say no. I choose my peace. I choose my family. I choose my purpose. But you know what they couldn't do? They couldn't destroy his truth. They couldn't take away the nearly 20 years of life-changing impact Sentebale has had. They couldn't erase the thousands of children who received health care, mental health support, education and dignity because Prince Harry cared enough to do something about their suffering. And that, my friends, is why they'll never win. Because people like Harry and Meghan don't move for applause, they move for purpose. Their legacies are being written not by the tabloids, but by the children they've helped, the minds they've changed, the stories they've inspired. So, as we reflect on this latest attempt to smear and gaslight, we remind ourselves that truth is slow, but it is steady. And when it arrives, it burns away the lies like sunlight burns fog. Prince Harry has been vindicated, And not because he fought loudest, but because he stood his ground, told his truth, and let the facts speak for themselves. So to every one of you watching, let this be your reminder. You are not alone in seeking truth. You are not alone in standing against gaslighting, silencing and bullying. You are not alone in your admiration for two people who turned their pain into purpose and their exile into empowerment. Support them not just with your words, but with your energy. Share this story. Speak out when you see injustice. Use your platforms, big or small, to say, "We see you, we believe you, we honour your service." And right now, if you stand with Prince Harry, if you stand with Meghan Markle, if you believe in compassion, dignity and truth, make your voice heard. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, drop a comment below letting the world know you're part of the Royal Sussex Squad. And if you feel moved to support this channel and help us keep shining light on these stories, go ahead and click that super thanks. Every single contribution matters. Prince Harry cleared in Sentebale Row, but warns children will bear the cost in scathing rant. The regulator found no evidence of widespread or systemic bullying or harassment. Prince Harry has been cleared of any wrongdoing following an internal dispute at Sentebale, the charity he co-founded in 2006 to support vulnerable children in southern Africa. A new report by the Charity Commission has concluded its compliance case into the organisation and issued a regulatory action plan after identifying governance failures, but found no fault with the Duke of Sussex. The Commission said confusion around internal policies, unclear role descriptions, and the failure to manage disputes internally led to the charity's reputation being severely impacted after public fallouts and multiple resignations, including that of Harry and his co-founder, Prince Seiso. The regulator found no evidence of widespread or systemic bullying or harassment, including misogyny or misogynoir at the charity, and was also not satisfied that public statements made to the media and public criticism made in television interviews were conducted in a way that served the charity's best interests. It further found no overreach by either the chairwoman or Prince Harry, but was critical of the charity's lack of clarity in delegations to the chair, which allowed for misunderstandings to occur. Sentebale welcomed the ruling but faced sharp criticism from its current chairwoman, Dr. Sophie Chandauka, who blamed the Duke of Sussex for incalculable damage and unacceptable behaviours. In a statement responding to the findings, a spokesman for the Duke of Sussex told GB News, "The Charity Commission has today announced its findings. Unsurprisingly, the Commission makes no findings of wrongdoing in relation to Sentebale's co-founder and former patron Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. They also found no evidence of widespread bullying, harassment or misogyny and misogynoir at the charity, as falsely claimed by the current chair." Referring to Sentebale's chairwoman, Dr. Sophie Chandauka, who accused Prince Harry of causing incalculable damage to the charity, the spokesman continued, "Despite all that, the report falls troublingly short in many regards. Primarily the fact that the consequences of the current chair's actions will not be borne by her, but by the children who rely on Sentebale's support. Sentebale has been a deeply personal and transformative mission for Prince Harry, established to serve some of the most vulnerable children in Lesotho and Botswana. For 19 years, its dedicated staff and steadfast supporters have provided vital care to over 100,000 young people across southern Africa, including young people living with HIV/AIDS and those facing mental health challenges. As custodians of this once brilliant charity, Prince Seiso, Prince Harry and the former Board of Trustees helped grow Sentebale from the seed of an idea to, like its namesake, a flowering force for good. With the original mission of Sentebale firmly in mind, and in honour of the legacy he and Prince Seiso began, the Duke of Sussex will now focus on finding new ways to continue supporting the children of Lesotho and Botswana. The Charity Commission criticised all parties for allowing tensions to unfold in public and said the handling of internal issues amounted to mismanagement in the administration of the charity. David Holdsworth, Chief Executive of the Charity Commission, said, "Sentebale's problems played out in the public eye, enabling a damaging dispute to harm the charity's reputation, risk overshadowing its many achievements, and jeopardizing the charity's ability to deliver for the very beneficiaries it was created to serve. The Commission has ordered the charity to improve its governance and dispute handling processes. It is now monitoring Sentebale's progress against the plan. We're building something powerful here, a community of truth-tellers, a digital family that refuses to be silenced. And no matter what they throw at Harry and Meghan, we will still be standing, stronger, louder, prouder. Until next time, take care of your peace, defend your truth, and never forget, you are royalty in your own right. Stay Sussex strong forever.